You know, when it comes to indie games and specifically indie horror, there isn't really many options to be honest. Sure, we have Poppy Playtime, Betty and the Ink Machine, Slenderman, Baldi's Basics, Granny and all. But only one game I remember watching that truly had me cowering behind a pillow at night because of how unpredictable it was. Oh, hello neighbor. Hello Neighbor was known as the junkiest and glitchiest indie game to ever grace this earth. It still is. And just like no other popular franchise, it spiraled into what I like to call the USC. Useless Sequel Curse. Just look at Star Wars Episode 789. This franchise had some questionable spin-offs. I didn't even know this existed. The main storyline following the two games of Hello Neighbor 2, and the soon-to-be-released Hello Neighbor 3, which is currently in beta right now. And after looking at it, it looks alright, it looks quite nice. The gameplay looks pretty interesting, the graphics look pretty up-to-date. But the neighbor himself, well, I mean, he's seen better days, is apparently a side character in his own game, which, I mean, isn't really a plus in the indie game department. Now, it does sound like I'm pelting this game with like negative reviews left, right, and center like a disgruntled IGN reviewer, but honestly, I couldn't love an indie game more than Hello Neighbor. Well, maybe not only the first alphas and betas. Hello Neighbor is probably the only game I know that almost everyone universally agrees has the best alphas and betas. It practically started most people's YouTube channels, and that's how good it was. And because of this, most creators I follow have started to go back towards it. Specifically the early alphas of the game. Hello Neighbor pre-alpha. Not because of nostalgia, well I mean, kinda, but because the game is purely just full of nightmare fuel. I mean, just listen to the chase music. The game itself is very simple. You move into a new neighborhood and you notice a glowing door in your neighbor's house. And being the kind neighbor that you are, you break into his house and check it out for yourself. Only for... It's a very simple concept. You then wake back up in your bed and hey presto, the door is sealed shut, and it's up to your ridiculous throwing form to find out what's inside the basement. I'll save you the trouble, there was nothing even there to begin with. But the reason this game is probably the most scariest out of all the Hello Neighbors, and just indie mascot horror in general, is because of the ambience and lack of help. Let's start with the music. Yeah. Pretty bad, right? Hope you got used to it after the first one. The reason why this music works so well in being so adrenaline driven is because of how fast the music, or excuse for music, kicks in. Half the time in the game you don't even know when the neighbor sees you, and when you do, yeah, don't worry, you will know when he sees you. By very subtle warnings and hard to decipher sounds. Aside from the chase music, the actual ambience of the game is also very unsettling. I'm sure you've seen some gameplays and like maybe some videos of like this one specific audio that was taken straight from like a sitcom back in the day. There are mainly 3 and 4, I guess if you count the TV noise, that make up the core game. These sounds smushed together to create probably the most disturbing sounds I've actually listened to in a game, with the sole exception of FNAF Jr. It slowly builds up the intensity, but only subtly, and once you think you're safe... Now, what game is good without the gameplay, right? Now surely this game must have some sort of revolutionary gameplay. I mean, why else would people come back to it, right? The joke is there is none. The game gives you nothing, okay? No help or anything. You have to figure it out all for yourself, which I think adds to the whole break it to your neighbor's house home aspect. In real life, you don't have like a massive blue arrow pointing down to where the money is, right? You have to actually work for it. Pretty realistic if you think about it. And it's because of this that the game feels so horror-based. It actually makes you feel worried about sneaking around, because what if you don't find what you're looking for and the neighbor's right on your tail? You need to find 3 things in the game to actually get into the basement. The hammer, the key, and the code. Which sounds very simple at first, but each time you get caught, the place of the items sometimes switch like the UV light needed for the code. And that makes it even more thrilling to invade your friend's house again. And in my opinion, that's what makes the game so scary, for lack of better words. It perfectly encapsulates the actual horror behind mascot horror. Unpredictability, which the later Hello Neighbors don't really do as well. And so to conclude, I believe Hello Neighbor Pre-Alpha is probably the most terrifying indie horror game of all time.